Let's talk about performing assessments in teletherapy. I am going to actually talk about the box to the right-hand side of the slide first, because these are the platforms you should absolutely not use, not just for assessments, but for teletherapy in general. Now, we all have the knowledge that when you are doing teletherapy, the platforms have to be 100% HIPAA compliant. Whenever you're exchanging EPHI or electronic personal health information, it has to be through a secure platform. Emails have to be secure as well. So the platforms to absolutely not use are Facebook Live, Twitch, TikTok, FaceTime. Now, the important considerations to keep in mind when you are performing assessments is that it has to be a HIPAA compliant platform. Only authorized users should have access to it. Do not share the link with people who might not be a part of the child's family. Think about safety and environment. When you are thinking about an assessment, is the patient self-aware to maintain safety while using those things, while using the manipulatives? Are the parents and guardians capable of supervising them well? Do they understand what is required of them? Is the home environment safe? Does the patient have all the required materials? During an online therapy evaluation, remind the adults, just as an in-person, they are only here to observe how the child is doing. Do not give any help, do not give any cues. Now think about the type of assessment that you're using. What type is it? Is it a questionnaire? Is it one that requires a lot of hands-on approach? Does it have a lot of manipulatives? Is the test valid and reliable for use in telehealth? Will it take longer to administer online? Is the technology that you have sufficient to carry out the testing? What are the required testing materials? Are you going to be sending those home? Or can you ask the parent to use household items, which could serve as a second? You have to think about all these things when you are going to be performing an assessment. You may want to anticipate the assessment taking a bit longer over teletherapy than you would in person. Familiarity with the assessment. Now, have you ever used this assessment in teletherapy before? Have you used it in person before? If this is your first time performing an assessment in teletherapy, I would highly recommend using something that you have used in person before, because you need to have a high degree of familiarity over teletherapy, especially because if issues arise, you need to know how to have a backup plan or how to troubleshoot. And always review the publisher's website for specific tips or requirements for remote administration. Plan in advance, like your session. Use online forms, send them to the caregiver in advance. This will save your time and increase efficiency. And make sure you take a look at the copyright laws for assessments. Some testing materials are protected by copyright laws that prohibit the reproduction of tests, either on paper or electronically without prior approval. So definitely look at those laws before any assessments that you consider.